or if there is an earthquake, we understand that nature is playing a very big role in our life. So we try to solve problems at that level. Our struggle is at that level first. And then we have the problems which are created by other living beings. It could be a wild animal, or it could be a reptile like a snake, or a worm, or an insect, or a human being. They are creating problem for us. We try to solve the problems at that level. And for solving problems at both these levels, we have developed quite a few things. For example, science has been developed to overcome the problems caused by the elements of nature. We have developed how to live in a house, how to bring water to our house. You are sitting in your room and the water is flowing far off into a river, but it comes to your room, your bathroom. This all science has made a lot of progress in that. Or if it is very hot outside, it's AC here, we are sitting comfortably without sweating. And then we have the problems caused by other beings. There again the science has played a role, but then society plays a role. We have police, we have municipal corporation, we have military. The problems created by others do not affect us. But there is a third level of problem, which is what is the actual focus of our discussion of meeting here. And there is the problems that we create for ourselves by ourselves. We create problems for ourselves through thinking. By thinking which is not very matured, or thinking which is born of a wrong understanding of life. This thinking has to be corrected. In fact, education, according to Swami Vivekananda, is a tool, is a method through which we correct our thinking. We gain right attitude or right approach to thinking. And of course, again, that thinking has to be positive thinking. Thinking about our possibilities, thinking about our potential, thinking about that there is something in this universe, not negative, not essentially negative, not essentially bad or wicked, but essentially something which is good, something positive. And we try to gain strength from that. You all know this famous prayer, Asatoma Sadgamaya. See, you mark this word, Asatoma Sadgamaya. Asat means, in Sanskritam, Asat means that which is negative. Sat is that which is positive. So take me from negativity to positiveness or positive thinking. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Please take me. That's a prayer. It comes from the Vadodara Upanishad, one of the oldest Upanishads. It speaks of something positive. That, oh Lord, take me from a negative, gloomy, a pessimistic thinking to something positive, optimistic. Now this thinking takes place at different levels. We face problems right from morning till night. Problems at different levels. Problems in dealing with human beings, with the course that we are studying, or the bus route that which you are following, or any area in which we are involved. We know there are some hurdles. First thing, let us all understand that, or we must accept that, is that life is not free from difficulties. If we accept that, that solves many difficulties. If we accept that life is not free from difficulties, life is difficult, it solves many difficulties. Problem is, we have a very dreamy, childish kind of an attitude towards life, or a view of life which says, no, everything should be fine. There should be no difficulty in my way. Everything will go as per my way. Life will go as I have planned. But life doesn't go that way. So when it doesn't go that way, we become negative. We say, oh, so and so is not right. We try to blame others. We say the government is not all right. The education system is not all right. My father is not all right. My sister is not all right. So and so, because they created some hurdle in my way of life. Now, how do we solve it? There are different micro details into which I am not going, but if you have to solve it, first of all, have the right self-image. Who are you? Have an image, right kind of image. That I am something positive. Don't ever try to indulge in self-pity. I was sharing a small anecdote with the Swamijis this morning. There was this young boy who had come to our ashrama and met one of the Swamijis. He had some difficulty in his life, he had met with a failure, and he was very dejected. He was feeling very down, and when he reached the ashrama, he expressed himself to the Swamiji. He sought an appointment, sat with him, and after listening to him for some time, the Swamiji asked him, well, that was a period of great feeling. We still wanted to ask him, have you read anything of Swami Vivekananda? The young man replied, yes, I have read. Do you remember anything? He asked him. He said, yes, I remember one thing. What is that? Swamiji said, feel. Feel, feel, feel. And he started weeping. Swamiji said, well, when Swami Vivekananda said that you should feel, it is not feeling for yourself, but feeling for others. What he is there doing is indulging in self-pity. Self-pity is not the way of life. It's not going to solve your problem. It is only going to strengthen your negative thinking. Yes, you must have a proper self-appraisal. This is what I am. I have some weaknesses, but I accept it. Having accepted it, I can solve it. If I don't accept it, if I say, no, it doesn't exist at all, I cannot solve it. I accept it, but then I don't stop at that, I move forward. Swami Vivekananda is the one person you find in recent history who has laid so much emphasis on one thing, that is, have faith in yourself. Have faith in your capacities, have faith in the deep potential that you have. And what was this self-concept that he was speaking of? One is that you should have a very respectful attitude towards your own capacities. And still further deeper, Swamiji spoke of the divinity present in man. He would say man is not a sinner. Man is not essentially something bad. Man is not essentially something wicked or evil. Man is a divine light. Every human being is a divine light. There is divinity present in everyone. But then you might ask, if divinity is present in everyone, then how do we account for the people who misbehave, or criminals, or people who indulge in violence and terrorism? To that, let us understand that they are the people who are not manifesting the divinity. It is like the light behind a glass, which, in the lantern, when there is no power, we use that, where you use the kerosene lamp. When you don't clean the chimney on the lamp, it gathers a black soot, a black covering over it, carbon dioxide, then the light doesn't come out very well. Then you take a piece of cloth or cotton and clean it up. The light which was there, it was already there, it starts manifesting itself. Likewise, we have the light within. This covering of bad or improper thinking or wrong samskaras, as they said in Sanskrit, that there is some wrong samskara, it is not allowing the divinity within to manifest. So we have to learn to have a cleaning process. That is called positive thinking. Positive thinking is all about saying, yes, it can be done. We should not speak in terms of it cannot be done, but it can be done. When more we emphasize the divinity within, the more we emphasize that we have something within us which is going to solve the problems, which is going to face situations, a unique power comes up from within. It solves a problem. But if you go on saying, no, I cannot, no power comes out from within. You only feel less and less empowered, you feel more. Now the best way of making your mind healthy is to think positive. What the mind needs is great thoughts, positive thoughts. Mind becomes very unhealthy if it starts thinking only of very low type of thoughts. So the more we think of our divine core within, the divinity within, the more we come nearer to the real manifestation of our potential. This is what Swami Vivekananda repeatedly said. We should also remember that we should fill our mind with good thoughts right from morning till night. Unless we are hearing these thoughts, unless we are seeing these thoughts in the form of what images we see, or the books that we read, or the type of conclusions that we are making, unless we take care of it, it is very likely that our mind will pick up some thread somewhere and to become negative. So we should have a very conscious approach to that. We have the one famous prayer in the Upanishads which says, "Let me hear that which is good." It says, "Bhadram karne vishnuyama devaha, bhadram pashe maksha viryajatraha, sthirairangai stuštuvadam sastanubhi, vyashema deva hitanyadayu." Bhadram, good, noble. Bhadram karne vishnuyama deva. Let me hear through my karanam, through my ears, that which is Bhadram. Let me see through my eyes that which is Bhadram, that which is good, noble. It means I am using a kind of an internal filter, a filter in the mind. You are all used to the filter in the Gmail. But there is a different kind of filter here in the mind. That is, that I take away that which is not required. Don't I see the negative things? I see, but let me not focus on that. So does it mean that I am running away from the reality? It's not running away from the reality. If you want to solve something negative, it is something positive. So I keep it aside and try to slowly make my mind strong. As Swami Ramakrishna referred in the beginning, that just as the body becomes weak when the immune system is weakened, likewise mind becomes weak when the mind's immune system becomes weak. And what is mind's immune system? The system which has the capacity to face problems. So Bhadram karne vishnuyam deva, Bhadram pashe maksha viryajatraha. Then he says, this is a very important statement. Sthirairangai stuštuvadam sastanubhi, vyashema deva hitanyadayu. Let me be strong. Sthirai means strong. Angai, strong limbs. And deva hitanyadayu. Let me live as long as the gods wish me to live. Which means let me not end my life. Let me not say that, oh, enough of this life. Actually, the person who wants to end his life really doesn't want to really end his life. He only wants to end his problem. He thinks this is the end. That if I end my life, I would end my problem. You will not really end the problem. The problem will return to you. So let us try to, in the famous, I think one Hindi poet has said this, "Abhi to घबरा के कह देते हैं कि मर जाएं, पर मरकर भी अगर चैन न मिला तो कहाँ जाएं." So let us try to not run away from life. Let us try to face life. And that facing will come when we fill our mind with positive thinking. One of the very immediate suggestions that I would do, and I will that close, that is always read. I won't ask you to read take up a big book. That's actually not a very right thing to advise the young people, that they should take up a big volume and start reading. Just take up small little books of Swami Vivekananda. Some teaching, some quotations, put them in your pocket and take it out whenever possible. Rather make it a habit and make it possible and read every day one or two quotations. Let it sink into your mind. When you put salt in the water, it sinks into the mind and the water becomes salty. Likewise, let these thoughts sink into your mind. Let your mind become, let us use the word, Vivekanandized. Let it become Vivekanandized. Is nothing negative. Everything is positive. That's what Rabindranath Tagore said. Nothing negative. Everything positive. That's the best way we can actually give guidance to ourselves and be good to others. Thank you.